Welcome back to the channel, wrestling fans. I hope you guys are ready for today's video. This video is going to be something I feel is something I need to get off my chest, and I feel like it's something that I wish wrestling fans would start to understand, and that is a big thing that I wish WWE needs to stop doing. Now, as much as I'm all for the future stars being pushed and everything, the one thing when I say these superstars are the future and they need to be pushed, I think people literally take this the wrong way and they see it as, oh, so you're saying like they need to be shoved into the championship so quickly. No, that's not what I'm saying, and I'm here to explain it really in depth to why I feel WWE needs to start being a bit more careful when it comes to pushing, future stars so quickly. If you look at Austin Theory, John Cena roasted this man on the microphone when he said that he would rather be bald than have piped-in crowd noises because the fans don't care. And it's true. Fans don't care about Austin Theory. Well, mainly because he's been pushed way too fast, too soon. He may have the talent to be a big star, but the one thing that drives me crazy is when WWE sees someone as the future, or when they see someone as championship material, they make it their goal to push them way, way, way too fast. One of the best examples is Roxanne Perez. She beat Mandy Rose. She beat Mandy Rose to become the NXT Women's Champion, who, in my personal opinion, Mandy Rose will always be one of the best NXT Women's Champions. No matter what the internet says, no matter what WWE says, because they've completely erased her and her entire work with NXT, with all that year and a half. They've completely erased everything she did. But regardless of what I'm trying to say, is that Roxanne was pushed the moment she came in. And I have no problem with Roxanne. I'm a big fan of hers. Same thing with Cora Jade. I'm a big fan of both of them. I think they are indeed the future. But remember how old these two ladies are. Roxanne is around about 21, nearly 22. And Cora Jade is 21, almost hitting 22. And look at Roxanne's career. She's already won both of the major women's championships already. And she's only been in the company for 1 year. She hasn't even hit her 1 year anniversary yet. And she's a former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion and now the current NXT Women's Champion. Well, not anymore, she isn't. But you get my point. She's won both NXT Women's titles too quickly. Now, I would have been fine if her and Cora Jade had a bit of a run with the tag team titles, which is why I really hated. Listen, I love Cora Jade as a heel, but I really, really hated that WWE just broke them up the moment they won the titles. I felt Cora and Roxanne could have easily had like about a 4 or 5 month tag team title reign, and then you could have had Cora Jade turn on her. I just didn't like they turned her heel straight after they won the tag team titles. But regardless, WWE just has this nasty habit. If they are a big fan of someone, if they are a big fan of a young prodigy, that's what Roxanne calls herself, the prodigy, but when they're a big fan of someone who is like a future star, their biggest problem is that they push them way too fast, way too soon. Bron Breakker is the same problem, and Bron Breakker is now a part of the problem because the fans are now turning on him. The fans are now turning on him to the point where they want Carmelo Hayes to beat Bron Breakker for the NXT Championship. Bianca Belair is the same problem. Pushed way too fast, way too soon. She won the NXT Royal Rumble. She won the Royal Rumble in her debut, in her rookie year. Went on to win the women's title at WrestleMania. got squashed, where everybody at SummerSlam, where everyone thought she got buried, and then she won the title again at WrestleMania, and she's gone on a full year as Raw Women's Champion. Pushed way too fast, way too soon. Bianca's title reign got to the point where she was feuding with Alexa Bliss. When she was feuding with Alexa Bliss, fans were literally begging Alexa Bliss to take the title from her. When Alexa Bliss DDT'd Bianca on the steps, the crowd were chanting, "One more time, one more time, one more time." And when Alexa Bliss DDT'd her on concrete floor, one point the crowd again chanted, "One more time, one more time." You guys get the point. WWE just needs to knock it off. Like, I get it. These people are the future. Look, as much as I don't like Austin Theory, I can accept he is the future of WWE. Like, WWE isn't going to release him. As much as I want to believe that they would, I have accepted that Austin Theory is going to be one of the biggest stars in WWE. But I just don't like it when WWE just push these people too fast. It just makes me not really want to get behind these people. And I love Roxanne. But I'm slowly losing interest in her because they're pushing her way too fast. And I know, and trust me, I wanted Cora Jade to be the next NXT Women's Champion. I wanted her to be the one to dethrone Mandy instead of Roxanne. But there was one major problem that I knew was going to happen the moment I said that. Even if it happened, even if Cora Jade was the one to beat Mandy Rose, fans would just turn on Cora Jade anyway. She'd just end up like everybody else. She'd be in this discussion, pushed way too fast, way too soon. This is why I'm perfectly fine with wrestlers, you know, some of the younger wrestlers, you know, actually, you know, taking at least a couple of years to win the championship, just because they're new. Just because you're high on them doesn't mean put the rocket strap on them and boom, straight up to the top. Because it just then eventually catches on with the WWE fans, like it has with Bron Breakker. WWE just need to take their time with these people. They just need to take their time with these people. I know they deem Nikita Lyons is another one of those superstars they deem the future of the company. I don't really see anything in her, to be honest. I've watched a handful of her matches when I used to watch NXT. I just never saw what was the big deal about her. I just never saw the big deal about her. For a while, I thought she was going to be the one that was going to put down Mandy Rose, considering how much they were pushing her. As much as and this is the thing, and this is why I feel WWE needs to start being a bit more careful when it comes to pushing these younger stars, because it gets to the point where the fans are just going to turn. And I wish people would understand that. When I say these people are the future, I don't mean they should be winning championships. I would rather them work their asses off and prove to the company that, you know, they don't need to be the champion. You can still build us up to make us look like big deals without the championship. And that's the problem. I think Bron Breakker is probably going to end up in this category as well on the main roster. They might just bring him straight up to the main roster, and who knows, maybe he's the guy that beats Gunther, or he beats Austin Theory. And then he'll end up in the same way, because the fans have already seen what he's capable of in NXT. And this is why I don't want even someone like Tiffany Stratton pushed so quickly, because as much as she's a great athlete, I just think WWE just need to take their time with these people. Just take your time with them. You don't need to shove a title on them just to prove to the fans that they are the next big thing. You could give them big victories. You could just give them big victories over somebody. You know, maybe for example, like I can give you guys an example. You could have, maybe For example, you could have maybe, I don't know what I can use. Bron Breakker. You can use Bron Breakker, for example. You can have him defeat AJ Styles on an episode of Raw. You could have maybe if Cora Jade or Roxanne are on the main roster, you could have them beat like a Bianca or an Alexa on Raw. You know, just to give the fans the impression that these people are the future. This is why I've been saying this about Becky Lynch. I wish Becky Lynch would start losing to the younger stars. You know, actually be the one that gets pinned and no protection, no BS, no outside nonsense, no outside bullshit. Just a straight up match where she loses the match. Just a straight up match where she loses the match. You don't need to throw extra protection. You don't need to have someone interfere or do something extra to protect them. It tells me they got too scared to have them lose clean. It's the same thing with Charlotte Flair. I'm hoping to God that Charlotte Flair loses clean at WrestleMania, but knowing WWE, they'll probably have like Dominic Mysterio do something and then Rhea will win in a way where Charlotte is still protected. Or Charlotte just straight up beats her. Well, that could be the case as well. And sometimes they also have the bad habit of pushing the wrong people as well, but, you know, that will be another discussion for another time where I'll talk about stars that WWE try to push, but we just don't care about them. But they just never learned their lesson and they just still push them anyway. The reason why I wanted to make this video is because Roxanne Perez, with what happened to her on NXT today, what happened to her on NXT at, Roadblock? Yeah, was that Roadblock? It just made me think to myself, this company has been putting the rocket strap on Roxanne for a whole year now since she's been signed. They had her be the one. They had her be the one to beat Mandy Rose. And instead of just having her lose the title, they decided to do an angle where she's now going to lose the title due to being hospitalized. Oh, she collapsed in a match against Miko Satomura. So therefore, she can lose the title without being pinned. Roxanne is going to end up in the same boat as Bron Breakker. Because when Roxanne comes back, the first thing WWE are going to do is put that title back on her. Regardless who has it, the person that wins that Fatal 4-Way ladder match is just a placeholder champion until Roxanne gets it back. And then she's going to end up in the same place. But Roxanne is so likable, Patrick. Fans wouldn't turn on her. So was Liv Morgan. So was Liv Morgan. You wouldn't think that fans wouldn't turn on Liv Morgan when she won the SmackDown Women's Championship, but no, people did turn on her. Becky Lynch is supposed to be likable. Fans turned on her. Fans turned on Seth Rollins when he was the Universal Champion. The crowd turned on everyone. It doesn't matter how likable you are, if the crowd are sick of you, they will let you know that they are sick of you. But you know what's funny? Throughout the 413 days that Mandy Rose was NXT Women's Champion, other than the dumb internet fans that know completely nothing about wrestling whatsoever, I didn't hear outside of the internet fans tired of Mandy Rose being champion. Toxic Attraction was the most over, most popular faction in NXT. The NXT fans clearly weren't sick of it. But no! Mandy gets released due to stupid reasons, and then months later, as a coincidental jab at Mandy Rose, they decide to turn her friends, they decide to break up her faction. They decide to break up Gigi and JC and have them branch out as singles competitors. Some people look at the positives and say, you know what, they did everything they could as a tag team, starting to spread their own rings. No, they could have gone up to the main roster and challenged Damage Control for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships and could have dethroned Damage Control, but no, let's give it to Becky and freaking Lita instead. Because screw the future, screw them, screw the future, let's have an old lady who fans just want to see back for some stupid reason, and a woman who doesn't need a title anymore. WWE just never learn from their mistakes. They just never learn from their mistakes, and this is another thing. I'll talk about in the future. But right now, this video is something that I wish fans would understand. That it's okay to push the future stars. It's fine to push the stars that you deem the future, but don't just put the rocket strap on them straight away, because then the fans are going to eventually turn. This is just something I really needed to get off my chest, because people they just don't seem to learn. They just don't seem to understand why I come off this way. They just think I'm being negative. No, I'm not being negative. I'm looking out for these wrestlers. I'm looking out because I've seen all of this happen. I've seen all of this happen. How should I know? How am I? Do you really think I'm going to believe that fans are never going to be bored of Roxanne Perez, no matter how many times she's champion? Of course they're going to get bored of her. They're bored of Bron Breakker. Now they want Carmelo Hayes. That's all I'm saying. Fans will get bored of these people, and that's why I'm making this video, to tell you guys that fans are going to get bored. It doesn't matter how likable they are, fans are just going to get bored of them. So that's the end of this video. You guys can let me know your thoughts down below, and I will be sure to hit the like button and subscribe, and I will see you all on the other side.